Hi everyone, my name's Mia. This is the first YouTube video that I've ever tried really filming, so you're gonna have to excuse the lighting and the setup and everything. It's something I've always kind of wanted to try, but I've always been really scared of doing it because I know that I would not be able to handle the hate of having a full-time channel. But it's the BookTubeAthon and I've never actually been able to participate, or I've never really taken the time to actually commit to it. And so this year, whenever I found out about it, I really wanted to go all out and really participate, and I just found out a couple minutes ago. So this is very last minute. I just put on some makeup and tried to get a little set up, and I picked out my books. So I'm going to do a BookTubeAthon to be read. I chose the book Walk the Edge by Katie McGarry. This is a book that my boyfriend chose when we went to Chapters together. And he actually has never ended up reading it, but it's sitting on my bookshelf, and it does indeed, if you can see, have a little guy standing on, it's like a bridge. This is a book that is about a really, from what I read in the description, I just read it real quick because I'd never taken the time to actually read the description carefully, but it's about a girl who's very responsible and good. And then something happens where a picture of her and this more rebellious guy gets leaked onto somewhere. It gets leaked onto the internet or whatever. And they kind of get together to kind of stop it. That's kind of what I understood from the premise. And from what my boyfriend told me, this is the sequel to a different book. But from what I read, it didn't really seem to matter. I don't know if it really is a sequel. I think it is, though. But I don't really think it matters, and I'm going to read it anyways, because I'm trying to read books I have not read yet from my shelf, and this is one that I have not read yet, so this is what I decided to choose. Then for the second challenge, it is read a hyped book, and so I chose, this one's very hyped, Divergent by Veronica Roth. This is a book that a lot of people really love, and a lot of people have really talked about, and I've seen the first two movies. I haven't read it yet. It's pretty thick, and I already know the story, so I don't know how invested I'll be in it. But it is a really hype book. It is very thick for a readathon, so I don't know how this is gonna go. And honestly, recently I've been struggling to read because nothing has been really working for me. Every book that I've started, I've just kind of left to the side because I wasn't enjoying it and I'm just not reading it. So hopefully this won't happen because I have not really been in the mood for dystopian stuff, but we'll see. Like I said, I'm trying to read books that I have not read yet, and my bookshelf is actually getting pretty short on books that I haven't read yet. So that's a good sign. That means I've been reading through my books, so that's good. But anyways, and then the third challenge is finish a book in one day. So I decided to pick up this one, which is a literary magazine, if I'm not mistaken. Prairie Fire, a Canadian magazine of new writing, and it says it is a tribute to Burke Sproxton, and which is this guy right here. I have never heard of him. I'm assuming he's an author. Looks like there's some works of his and other people's, and it's pretty thin, although the text is kind of small-ish. So we'll see. I picked this up at school whenever we were learning about literary magazines. So let's see if I can read through this. It shouldn't take too long. Challenge number 4 is to read a book about a character who is very different from you. And the book that I chose for this is 90 Minutes in Heaven by Dawn Piper with Cecile Murphy. I've already started it, just a little bit of it. And this is, out of the books that I have not read yet, the book that the character, I guess, is the most. He's not that much different from me. He is a Baptist pastor from Texas, which I am Christian, but I'm not Baptist, and I'm not in any way aiming to be a priest or a pastor or anything like that, although I am from the South. That's about the only thing, is that we're both I'm religious, I'm just not as religious as the character is, but yeah. And basically what happens, you can kind of tell from the book, is that, well, I'll just say what happens. He the character gets in a bad car accident and dies for a time of 90 minutes, and then he comes back to life. And this is basically him telling the story of what happened. This is like an interesting book, I guess, to discuss on YouTube because of people's different beliefs. I choose to believe that there is an afterlife. The details of religion I don't think are as important to me. I am Christian, but I'm kind of open to whatever other religions teach. I think that it's all valuable because to me there's not necessarily one that's more right than the other. I don't know. It's kind of interesting, but I choose to believe it, and I think it's interesting at least to read it, even if you end up not believing in it. But I think it's really good. I've already read the part where he's went. So I don't know if this is cheating for a readathon, but I decided to just go ahead with it because it's a character that's different for me. Plus it's not too long. It's going to read well, so I'm excited for that. The book I have chosen for challenge number 5, which is to read a book completely outdoors, is Charlotte's Web by E.B. White. This is a classic book I think a lot of people have read. I read it before. I don't know if it's actually a classic. I'm pretty sure it would be considered. Let me know if not. But this is a pretty old, worn out version that I actually found at my boyfriend's place. It has little drawings inside of it. I've had a version of this book that was the newer edition based from like the movie. I thought this would be really fun to read outside because it's kind of like farm animals type book. It's really lighthearted, really fun. So I thought I'd read this outside. Challenge number 6 is to read a book that you bought because of the cover. And this is a purchase. Actually, my mom bought this for me. Remember, there's any other books that I did not actually buy. My boyfriend bought Walk the Edge, obviously. That's about it. But yes, my mother bought me this book. And it is Alice's Adventures in Wonderland and Through the Looking Glass by Lewis Carroll. And whenever I went into chapters, whenever my mom was over about a month or so ago, in the young adult section, there was an entire shelf of classics, like children's classics, with this kind of design on it. And it was honestly really hard for me to choose which one I wanted. They had like Peter Pan of Green Gables, that kind of thing. And then this is the one I ended up choosing because I really wanted to read this. It's really pretty. It has all the original drawings, if I'm not mistaken, in there. It looks really good, and although I really did want to read this book at some point and potentially buy it, I really love this edition. So and it wasn't too expensive. I think it was like $15, something like that. So I got it. I'm really excited to read this. And then challenge number 7 is to read 7 books. And as you can see there, I had 6. So I am going to be reading the BookTubeAthon book that's been chosen, which is Juniper Lemon's Happiness Index. And I just got it. It's an ebook on Amazon, so I've got all that ready. Like I said, I just found out about this, so I didn't really have time for wait for it to come in the mail. So I have that there. And that's my pile. So I guess I can show like they do in the official BookTube videos. I've got my little stack, and then plus you can have a little ebook right up there. This is what I'll be reading. I feel like I've got kind of a diverse, actually, TBR. Not going to be too bad. It's going to be fun. Hopefully this is going to get me back into reading. It really came at a good timing because, like I said, I've not been reading because I haven't been liking what I've been reading. So hopefully this is going to help. Hope everybody has a really good BookTubeAthon. I'm pretty excited to try this and actually participate and upload videos. Try to edit my first video, which is going to be this one. And just participate and have fun and read. Just a shout out to Ariel for hosting this and creating it and doing all this stuff. I really, really like watching you. If you're watching, I guess you will be if I comment this and you do end up watching it. You should be watching this. I really like watching your videos and following you on social media. It's really cool because you're a fellow Canadian who likes to read. Really cool to keep up with you because you don't really see that a lot, I feel like. So it's really cool. And that's it. So have a good BookTubeAthon, and you might see me around on social media and everywhere concerning the BookTubeAthon. So thank you for watching. Like I said, don't take this too seriously because it is just my first video, and I don't think I'll be continuing like doing actual videos. This is just for this competition, and then I might not even keep it online. It's really just for the fun of it. So that's it. Alright, so have a good BookTubeAthon, you guys. See you.